one teaching of Lord Shiva?
One thing that I've learned from him is that I think he'll teach you nothingness. There's a lot of peace in nothingness. When I say this, it means that he's going to give you everything.
I've heard this thing about Lord Shiva at Ujjain. There's a temple in Ujjain, I think Mahakaleshwar temple. Every Saturday, which is technically Sunday morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, like every 2 weeks, if you go there, you'll often see a man who's like Shiva standing out there. Can crystals really cure heart diseases completely?
It does. Crystal healing is very different, works like magic. There's a particular number called 897, which you can write with, green pen. That number basically stands for money.
I'll definitely try that. So Bengal is called as the land of black magic. Why so?
See, this might be a little controversial over here, but
Why don't you talk us through your book and why should one read your book?
yeah. So I think Whispers of Shiva, firstly, I just want to clear it out that it's not on Shiva, basically. But it's about a girl called Rusha, and she's just like us. She's got her own clueless life, and she also goes through a little bit of depression. But the very foremost thing that she goes through is a denial phase. Like grieving has different phases. So the foremost phase is a denial phase that she goes through, and then she goes through this ashram where she meets various people, and here she notices a lot of things. So this ashram is something that is very different. It's not just a meditative form, but here she meets different kinds of people who teaches her different things about life. So I want people to read it only because I think people who have actually gone through this darkness would actually understand that what is it, what you are missing in life. And in this book, I think I've done my part over here. So yeah, I think.
So have you written this book derived from your own life experiences, or is it completely fiction?
No, it's not completely fiction. I've got my own experiences over here as well. So even if you ask me that why Shiva, all right, because I think there has been certain experiences in my life. I was a complete atheist person. And from there, I wouldn't consider myself as a very religious person, but I would say that I have now become a little spiritually inclined. All right. So, yeah. And I think when I speak of Shiva over here, uh, he has a deep impact in my life. Um, I think if I would start with that, even the tattoo that I have.
Right, I can see that.
Yeah, is of him.
Lord Shiva.
Yeah.
So, so are you like a practicing Hindu right now, or
No. I'm not a religious person. So there's a difference. So I'm not a religious person. I don't go and worship him or all that is there.
But you don't need to go and worship.
No, you don't
can
need
be
to.
religious at your own house.
Yeah. I'm not a religious person, basically. I'm spiritually inclined. But when I say spiritually inclined, then I would say that, okay, so let me get you back to this, okay, to the story. Basically, what happened is I was going through this entire, like, for a longer period of time, I was clinically depressed, all right? And one fine day, I just go to a therapist and I had a word and all that was there. And then I had to move back to Delhi,
Okay.
So when I moved to Delhi, then it was very difficult for me because COVID started at that point and I had to take an apartment as well. So when I took the apartment over there, since it was COVID and I had nothing, like I only had 2 spoons and 2 bowls for myself. So I was only dependent on 2G and all that was there. And I knew there was certain kind of issues that I was facing, basically. All right. Because lockdown was there and a lot of things were happening. Like I knew there was something wrong in me, but I couldn't understand. Like, one fine day I would just feel there's a tinge of pain in my stomach, and I would feel like everything has just, like, my life has stopped. It has just paused for a
Right.
bit, and there was only darkness. But this would happen very randomly. I remember that I was awarded from a particular brand. I came back home, I closed the door and started crying. Okay. And I remember this would happen every now and then. But at the same time, I think I also felt that there were people who would help me out. I mean, friends over there as well. uh, One fine day, these are very small little things, like my phone broke and I got somebody. I had nothing to it and I had my friends to come over. So these were the I always believe that universe has a different way of giving it back to you.
Right.
The only thing is that your intention has to be good. Now, coming back to spiritualism, when I came back to Kolkata, all right, and I was having this massive insomniac thing. I wasn't getting proper sleep. So I had a word with my aunt, all right, and she's a Reiki practitioner. So Reiki is a Japanese form of
Yeah, I'm
meditation.
aware of
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
So for a fact that when she spoke to me about Reiki, uh, I wasn't thrilled or something, because this is not something that a lot of people will believe in it. But at the same time, I thought probably I should try it out. So the initial thing was, firstly, she told me to have faith in the universe. And that's exactly how it happened. Like my bedroom was filled with small captions written by me about universe, and all that was there. That's the first thing I used to look. And the first thing of Reiki and or spiritualism is gratitude.
Right. Right.
That has to be there.
Correct. Yes.
You need to have gratitude. So every day I used to sit with a notepad and I used to write the things that I was grateful of. And this is a long journey, all right? So every now and then you have to do this. You have to continue doing this,
Right.
all right? So I remember then she told me to do this meditation where you just have to chant Om,
Right.
all right? And I started doing this. And after a year, I realized, it was working for me. Okay. And how did it happen? I remember it was Kali Puja, all right? And I had a dream that somebody is standing in front of my window and he has got this jata and he's had this trishul in a hand.
Right.
All right. And an eagle is sitting here. It's just a dream. I don't see faces or anything else. And from a corner, I see my mother crying. And I go back,
And all in the dream.
and all in the dream. And I just go back to her and I tell her, Ma, he's there. He's there. He's going to protect us. And the my mother that I see is something that I've, like, it's a repercussion of what I've seen in my childhood. Like, she used to wear sari and all that. And she looks at me, and then I look at the window, and it just feels so real. It was for like 2-3 seconds, and it felt so real to me. And then it was Kali Puja that day. And I don't know. So I just, prayed. And I said that, I know you're there. And if you're there, just show me a sign. And you won't believe this. It gives me goosebumps when I say this. After a point, I saw there are cars with his poster, like Shiva's posters.
Right.
And they're all going in the same direction. And that's when I know that, he's there for me, And I remember talking to my guru about it. And he said that, I said, I'm not going to pray. I'm not going to do all that. I don't want to do it. And he said, you don't have to. I'll give you a mantra and you start chanting it. So I do it regularly now. And that's how it works.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah.
So, anybody say who does not, conform to Hinduism, or is an atheist or is from any other religion, if you have to tell them about, say, one teaching of Lord Shiva, what will that be?
One thing.
Irrespective of any religion, belief system, anything, like a universal maybe teaching from him.
Teaching. See, one thing that I've learned from him is that I think he'll teach you nothingness. There's a lot of peace in nothingness, And this, when I say this, it means that he's going to give you everything. So you want this podcast to be a hit. He's going to give you that, and then he'll teach you that there's nothing about it. All right. So there won't be any fake arrogance in you. I'll tell you, I was doing this particular project with somebody. It was for World Cup, and it was for a Limca project. And I had given my heart and soul to that project, all right, because it was a TVC, and I love writing, so I wanted this project to be there. And end moment, pe, this person calls me up and says, "See, we can't shoot this. So and so problem is there." And I remember I was so heartbroken, all right, and I was so sad. I was like, because I really wanted it to happen, okay, and it wasn't like I knew that nothing can be done right now. And I remember I had actually when I got the project. So I always say this, that be very honest with your God, all right. If you want something, be honest and say, just like you do it with your parents, okay.
Right.
If you want something, if you want a particular dress or something, you say it. I want a dress. You will not ghuma fira ke say something, right? So even with your God, you do that. Be very straight cut. That this is the reason I'm praying. I want this. Say it. All
I've
right.
heard this thing about Lord Shiva. I don't know how correct it is, but Ujjain, there's a temple in Ujjain. I think Mahakaleshwar temple or something. If I'm correct with the name. So I think every Saturday, which is technically Sunday morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, like every 2 weeks, if you go there, which is like सुबह के 3 बजे, सैटरडे 12 बजे के बाद, which is Sunday technically सुबह के 3 बजे. So you'll often see a man who's like Shiva standing out there. Now this,
even I've heard this.
I've heard this from a lot of people, and I don't know how real or false that is.
See, I'll tell you one thing. One thing that I actually believe in, all right, that is, obviously it's not possible for him to be here all the time.
But why not?
Yeah, no, I think I believe in that energy that is surrounding us. All right. So when I say, if I call myself a bhakt or whatever, I don't call myself that. But even if I say that I actually worship or whatsoever, if I enter a room, I should evoke only positivity to people.
Obviously. Yeah.
That is one thing that I have actually learned from him. There shouldn't be any fake arrogance. There shouldn't be anything, because to him, everything is same. Right. So, and he'll teach you that.
Right.
So even when I said that the project did not work out and all that was there, and I had cried in front of him, I swear the next day I saw it was there. And the person called and I said, yeah, we've just managed because it was so late, so we couldn't tell you, and it's there.
Also, like, we are shooting this right now, and this is Sawan ka Mahina.
Yeah.
So at this point of time, if somebody wants to seek the blessings of Lord Shiva, what is or how should they seek? Like, obviously, one way, and there are a lot of Devo followers who, walk all the way with the, I don't know usko kya kehte hain, usko leke they walk all the way. That is their way of showing devotion. Yeah, everybody's way is different.
Everybody's
but
ways
what will
are
be
very
your way? कि सावन के महीने में अगर शिव भगवान से आपको blessing लेना है तो कैसे लेना?
See, I'll be very honest. Since I already said that I'm not a religious person, what I do is I've started doing this since I had a dream of this as well, that I was pouring water and all that. So I do this. I pour water, and my ways are a little different, as in, like, I do this meditative form for him. So, because even if you see him, his pose is a meditation,
yes.
Right? And that is the only answer to everything. I had a lot of anger issues, okay? And I know only through meditation I'm trying to, control myself or balance a little. So I think my ways are only this, that be honest with your God and just have good intention. He's going to look after you. And I believe that even if it's a believer or a non-believer, he's there for everyone. So that is there.
You also believe in a lot of crystals, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
How does crystals work? And if you could, okay, first, how does crystals work? If you could tell us that, then
So
I'll ask.
crystal healings are certain kinds of healings, like there's a peridot, all right? So that is like one needs to know, suppose you want to wear one, all right? So I have to know your, the weight, your weight. Firstly, I need to know that. And then I need to know the kind of diseases that you have. So that also does, every kind of crystal has like a different kind of meaning.
Right.
Okay, so they work like if you have got some diseases, for example. So what they do is every day you have to, but you have to work for the crystals as well. As in, you can't just keep there elsewhere, all right?
So, can crystals really cure heart diseases completely?
It does. Crystal healing is very different. I'll tell you what I have learned is I have done holy fire Reiki. All right.
What is that?
Holy fire Reiki is something that has a paper method. So, for example, if you are going through a illness or something, all right, and I would write it in a paper. I write your name, I write your age, all right, and then I would do pray for you. I'll do Reiki healing for you. So that can be distant healing as well. For example, I'm here in Kolkata and you're in Mumbai. And if so and so has told me that Jadip is not well or something, I can do that healing for you. And it works like magic. Because Reiki has numbers as well.
Right.
And these numbers works like if you have got fever, if you've got blood sugar high, everything. So that is there. There's a particular number called 897, which you can write with, green pen, and that number basically stands for money. So
Okay.
it's a magic number.
So, what do? You keep on writing that?
No, you just have to write it in your left arm. All right, just write it down, and it works like magic
Every day?
every day.
Okay. I'll definitely try that.
Yeah, because and there are certain kinds of numbers are also there. For every disease, there is a number.
So, suppose somebody's got a heartbreak and they want their partner
Yeah,
back.
Reiki is for depression as well.
No, suppose they want their partner back. किसी भी कीमत पे. So then what to do?
See, I can't reveal those things, but yes, there are certain kinds of numbers for them as well.
And you can get your partner back?
See, this might be a little controversial over here, but
That's what the name is, Twisted Truths. So you can be controversial.
No, I don't think it works in that way.
Okay. Don't you think it's going against the nature? Like if the universe and nature doesn't want you to be together and then you're forcing.
Yeah, it's like that. It's a little like that. I mean, when you're talking about the partners and stuff like that.
कि अगर कोई दूर हो गया है तो you're
No,
praying.
it doesn't work like that.
It should not work like that.
No, it shouldn't work like
But
that.
then
I hear a lot of people even asking me that if they can, manifest for their partner.
Exactly. But I also there's this thing in the black magic world, no, which is called Vashikaran or something of that sort.
Yeah. But then for that you have to, like, not everybody can do that.
Obviously,
all right.
obviously
you have to
not.
be like that powerful for that. And I don't think that powerful person is still here.
Oh.
Or even if he's
But a lot
there,
of
he's
people-
not going to, juggle up or talk to us or anything.
Right.
Because
do
their
you
universe
believe
is
in
very
black
different.
magic? Do you believe in black magic?
Not really. I believe in only one God, and he's still there and he's protecting us. So I don't believe in it. I hear a lot of people have actually gone through it, and not trying to demean or anything, but I think I believe so. Reiki is also about a communication, a love between you, humanity, and God. All right. And since I've done it, I believe that love is the strongest form.
Right.
All right.
Right.
And even if this black magic is there, it is going to be there for not for a longer period.
Right.
All right.
So when suppose somebody is practicing black magic, they're also actually praying to God or maybe devil. I'm not too sure of that.
A different form of God.
Different form of God, but they do. So I suppose you're also praying to God. Then
No.
whom does God listen to? Yeah.
No. So our praying to God is very different. And what you're saying is different. That's Tantra. That's a
Right.
different kind of a
Right,
Tantra.
right,
All right.
right,
And
right.
even if somebody is trying to harm you, the person who is actually into all this, they also know that they'll be harmed as well. All right.
Right.
So even they'll go through that thing.
Right.
So that is there.
Right. So Bengal is called as the land of black magic. Why so?
I don't know, man.
Why this prejudice has come
I don't know, because probably
on us?
I think it is also because there has been a lot of tantras over here.
Right.
I mean, even if you go to certain places like Tarapit or something, you'll see it through your eyes that they have places for it.
Yeah, especially in the Samshan Ghat. and all.
Yeah. It's there. But also, I'm telling you that it's not that easy. That person has to be that powerful. And even if somebody is trying to do that to you, he's going to get harmed again.
How does one realize, like a lay person, say you or me or anybody who's not into all of this, how does one realize if somebody is actually performing some black magic on them? Is there a way to actually gauge?
See, I remember because I was going through this doubt as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had a call with this so-called person, and she said that probably you'll have this immense illness for a
Acha.
longer period of time.
Okay.
So there is going to be there, and that would just come randomly. But then if you see your rational mind, if you even see it, like illness comes very randomly, like you can just get a throat ache or whatever.
correct.
That can come like that. So I don't know. I think it's still there.
Have you ever had any bad experience with a guru which you followed?
I did. I think this was 3 months ago. No, 3 to 4 months ago.
That
and
recent?
Yeah,
Okay.
that recent. So I met this person and she used to call herself a psychic. All right. So it was fine. And I got this through a mutual friend of mine. So, all right. So she had a very good experience and she just, she referred me. So I went there and we spoke. And then she said, so and so things are going to happen in your life and all that is there. And I somehow believed it. When you are in that stage, when you're so clueless, you believe all this, okay? And then she gave me, and she said, this can be cured. And through what? Through a lot of crystals and all that is there. And I've already heard of crystals, so I thought I have to, I can do this. So then I wore those crystals and all that is there. And then obviously the problems, she never told me how the problems are going to get solved, right? So it was just, I just had to wear the crystals and all that was there. So I was wearing the crystals and all that was there. After 2-3 months, after 2-3 weeks, I got a call again. And she said, I'm having visions. Something is going to happen to you. So I said, okay, all right. And I got a little scared, okay? So I said, what should I do now? And then she gave me more crystals. So I want more crystals, okay? And it is funny, actually. So, and somewhere down the line, I think people should actually know this, whom to trust. But I was so clueless at that point,
And how did you realize that it was?
I'll tell you. So this also, because I believe in that higher energy, all right. And she used to randomly call me, okay? I think your mother is going to fall sick. I think your father is going to fall sick. Every now and then I used to hear stuff like that. And all right, so I used to wear all that and it was there. one fine day, I don't know, I was giving an interview, and this person was just a normal girl. She was just sitting beside me, and I saw nothing in her hands, okay? No crystals, nothing. And here I was wearing formals and crystals here, beads and everything. And I sat there and I looked at her, and she looked so confident. So crystals are what? It should give you confidence, okay? And it should heal you. This wasn't doing anything to me. So I said, no, if I believe in that higher energy, I'm not going to believe in all this. So, but crystals actually work for the people. I'm not demeaning anybody over here, but you have to put it in the holy water. You have to manifest. There are lots of methods of keeping the crystal. But I think I can't respect it in that way. And that is the reason I'm not wearing it anymore. I carry it wherever I go because I believe it has a particular space for it. There are certain kinds of crystals that she's given me. I have put it in my wardrobe as well, or on places where I put my devta and all that is there. But no, not for me.
So, coming back to the world of say books, now again, if somebody, so I'll ask you 2-3 quick questions, okay, and you have to give me quick answers. So, if somebody is very heartbroken, what are the 3 books that you will recommend them to read?
Okay, I think Where Rainbows End.
Okay.
If You Could See Me Now. And so these are all fictions, okay?
That's okay.
What more? I think the one I read,
We'll move on to the next one. What if somebody's fallen in love and is very happy? So maybe 2 books that you'd recommend them to read.
I think P.S. I Love You.
Oh yeah, that one. Yes, very famous.
And Eric Segal's Love Story.
That's again a very common and famous book. Okay.
But I love it.
Right.
Yeah.
What makes it so special?
I think that was the first book I read, I remember. And I think I think it has got this intensity. You know, the first line is love that transits through time. That has a lot of impact on, I think, the readers as well.
Right.
And it does magic.
Right.
Eric Segal has a different kind of magic for love stories, yeah.
What? Okay, your recommendation, something.
I would say to read, which is a spiritual book, that is Autobiography of a Yogi.
Okay.
I would say to read that. I would also ask people to read Ikigai, which also teaches you the purpose of life, and it's just very nice. And then I would also, if they are spiritual enough, I think they might read Shiv Sutras as well. Because Shiv Sutras is not just about him, but it has so many teachings in a way. You know, it teaches you about Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, and everything.
Right, right.
So yeah, I would recommend that.
Okay. So my one final question before we move into the straight or twisted section is a very common question, and this is especially for the people who want to become writers, but they're kind of confused between the genre of writing, okay, or the terms of writing. So if you can clear it out in one line for each, the difference between a script writer, a dialogue writer, and a content writer, and maybe a copywriter as well. So yeah.
Okay. So a copywriter is somebody, if I have to give an example, so they usually work in advertising companies, all right? And so if there's a, for example, there's a mug over here, okay? So I have to write a caption for it, all right? So that's a copywriter, okay? Content writer is the one if you're writing blogs or articles or probably for SEO and all that is there. Dialogue writer, I mean, with the name you can understand. Okay, it doesn't mean that they're only writing the dialogues, okay? So there's a bit of description as well.
Right.
Script writer is something that is, so dialogue writer can also write the screenplay.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But script writer is somebody, for example, they will not write the dialogues over here, but they would just give a description of the entire thing.
Right.
This thing, scene by scene, what is happening.
Right.
This is something about script writer.
Right. Thank you so much, Poonam. I think that was very nice and concise. We'll jump to straight or twisted. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have about 8 or 9 sentences.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say them.
Mm-hmm.
You'll just have to say without thinking whether it's straight or twisted.
Okay.
I hope you know the meaning of straight or twisted. Straight
Yeah.
मतलब सही है, twisted मतलब कुछ झोलझाल है या गलत है या whatever it is. Are you ready?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. In the future, AI can completely replace content writers.
Twisted.
Manifestation doesn't work for everyone.
Straight.
You can achieve anything with manifestation.
Twisted.
The key to success in writing is to write every day.
Straight.
The first draft is always the worst.
Straight.
Tarot card reading is a reliable form of prediction. Actually, tarot card, my bad.
Twisted.
Nazar is real.
Twisted.
Any popular person or junior can steal your work / script.
Twisted.
That's it. Thank you so much, Poonam, for coming to Twisted Truths. I think it was a wonderful conversation. Especially love the insights about black magic crystals and everything. So, and all the best for your book. I wish and we wish it does really, really well. And hope to see you soon again and all the best.
Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.